A grumpy neighbor finds redemption through unexpected connections, leaving a legacy of love. Welcome back to Movies Explained. Today's film is a comedy drama from 2022 titled A Man Called Otto. The movie begins with Otto Anderson, a grumpy and rule-following man, buying rope at a hardware store. He grumbles about being charged a little extra at the cashier. In his neighborhood, Otto is known for being a bit sour, always insisting on rules like keeping the gate open and having parking permits displayed. Despite his gruff demeanor, there's a neighbor named Jimmy who tries to connect with Otto, even though Otto tends to think everyone around him is foolish. On his final day of work, Otto discovers that his co-workers have organized a retirement celebration for him. However, he chooses not to join the festivities. When he gets home, Otto decides to disconnect the electricity in his house. In a moment of despair, he uses the rope to create a noose in his kitchen, contemplating ending his life. But then, a glimmer of hope emerges when Otto notices the new neighbors across the street struggling to park their U-Haul. This unexpected scene interrupts his dark thoughts. Otto rushes outside and meets the Mendez family. Tommy, Marisol, who's pregnant, and their daughters Luna and Abby. Otto grumpily assists them with their car troubles before heading back home to complete his dark plan. But his solitude is disrupted when Tommy and Marisol arrive, offering him a plate of food that Marisol prepared. Otto reluctantly accepts and takes a bite, unexpectedly finding comfort in the meal. This twist of kindness from the Mendez family leads Otto to reconsider his heartbreaking decision. As Otto is about to end his life, he has glimpses of his past, remembering moments with his father. Just as he's about to take that fateful step, the hook supporting the noose gives way, and Otto falls to the ground. In this moment of vulnerability, he notices a discount ad for flower bouquets. Instead of giving in to despair, Otto decides to visit the cemetery to see his wife Sonia's grave. Armed with the flowers he purchased, he speaks to her as if she is there, sharing his thoughts about the dishonest real estate developers from a company called Dimerica. At night, Otto reflects on his younger days. He recalls how he couldn't join the army due to a genetic heart condition, hypertrophic cardiomyopathy, the same illness that took his father's life. On his way back to Pittsburgh, Otto noticed Sonia dropping her book on her way to the train. He hurried to catch up with her and returned the book. During this encounter, he found himself enchanted by her. However, there was a mix-up, and Otto realized he had boarded the wrong train. Sonia gave him money for the correct ticket and insisted he keep the extra. The next day, they had dinner together, marking the unexpected turn of events and the beginning of their connection. As Otto drives down the street, he encounters an agent from Dimerica. Then, a neighbor whom he dislikes throws rocks at a cat near his house because it scratched her dog. Despite these annoyances, Tommy and Marisol approach Otto once again, offering him Salvadoran cookies and asking to borrow his ladder. Another neighbor, Anita, requests Otto's assistance in bleeding her radiator to restore heat. Otto reluctantly agrees, but not without reminding Anita to return the garden hose he lent her during the summer. Otto holds some resentment towards Anita's husband Ruben, due to what he perceives as a betrayal. Unfortunately, Ruben is dealing with a condition that has severely limited his mobility, essentially making him like a vegetable. Anita shares that their son, Chris, has proposed placing Ruben in a senior care home. As Otto completes his task and attempts to leave, Ruben grabs onto the garden hose, almost as if he senses Otto's intentions with it. Despite this, Otto manages to free the hose from Ruben's grip. Otto sits in his car in the garage, trying to end his life through carbon monoxide poisoning. In this dark moment, memories flood back, particularly of a dinner date with Sonia. She noticed Otto hadn't ordered any food, and sensing his despair about his limitations, he opened up about his feelings of hopelessness due to his inability to join the army and his struggles in finding employment. In a touching gesture, Sonia took his hand, kissed him, and their act was met with cheers from the other diners. Otto is interrupted by Marisol's knocking on the garage door because Tommy has fallen from a ladder. Marisol, who doesn't have a driver's license, needs a ride to the hospital, and Otto agrees to help. At the hospital, Otto spends time with Luna and Abby, entertaining them by reading a story in a playful voice. The girls have affectionately started to call him Abuelo Otto, which translates to Grandpa Otto. During their visit, a clown named Beppo comes to entertain the girls. Otto gives Beppo a quarter that belonged to Sonia, but he insists on getting it back after the trick. Otto notices that Beppo has switched the quarters and reacts intensely, leading to a physical confrontation with the clown. Otto drives the family home, and Marisol notices a slight smile on his face. The next morning, they discover a cat nearly dead in the snow. With help from Jimmy and Otto, they successfully warm up the cat. Since Otto does not want to keep the cat, Jimmy decides to take it with him. Later, as Otto drives to the train station, memories flood back of his graduation when he received a degree in engineering and the moment he proposed marriage to Sonia. As Otto walks towards the train tracks, seemingly contemplating ending his life, a nearby man collapses onto the tracks. Shockingly, everyone around starts filming rather than helping. Otto springs into action, jumping onto the tracks to assist the fallen man. After ensuring the man is safe on the platform, Otto remains on the tracks, appearing to wait for the train. Another individual steps in, pulling Otto back to safety. The bystanders, who were previously filming, now view Otto as a hero for his brave act of saving the man in distress. After a while, Marisol goes up to Otto and hands him a drawing from Abby, where he is the only figure that is colored. Jimmy shows up with a cat, explaining that he had an allergic reaction to it. As a result, Otto is now stuck with the cat. He places the feline in a box and takes it to visit Sonia's grave. There, he shares with Sonia about the cat and updates her on the Mendez family. Otto meets a teenager named Malcolm who delivers newspapers on his bike. Initially, Otto scolds him, but the conversation takes a turn when Malcolm shares that he knew Sonia when she was his teacher. Malcolm opens up about his transgender identity and his new name, recounting how Sonia was supportive and encouraged others to be the same. Otto, touched by the memory, becomes more friendly towards Malcolm. Later on, Otto chooses to give Marisol driving lessons in his manual car. She feels anxious and often stalls the car, which irritates a man in a pickup truck who starts honking at her. Otto steps up to confront the man, making it clear that Marisol is still learning. He helps her regain confidence and continue driving. They eventually stop at a pastry shop, a place Otto frequented with Sonia. There, Otto treats Marisol to a Swedish eclair, a favorite that he and Sonia used to enjoy together. Otto shares with Marisol memories of the early days when he and Sonia first moved into the neighborhood, recalling their close friendship with Ruben and Anita. However, conflicts arose between Otto and Ruben due to their differing opinions on cars. Later, Marisol asks Otto if he can babysit Luna and Abby while she and Tommy enjoy a date night. Afterward, Otto helps Malcolm fix the chain on his bike. During this, Sherry Kenzie, a social media journalist, approaches him, eager to interview Otto about his courageous act on the train tracks. Otto, however, politely refuses the interview. When Marisol returns, she offers to help in clearing out some of his belongings, including Sonia's old coats. Otto becomes upset and rejects her help with frustration. Adding to Otto's challenges, the Dimerica agent returns, informing Otto that they have a file on him and are aware of his heart condition. The stress triggers distress in Otto's heart, and when Marisol attempts to help, Otto retreats to his house without responding to her persistent knocks. Inside his house, Otto reaches for a rifle, but his attention is drawn to a cap from Niagara Falls, evoking a profoundly painful memory with Sonia. They were in a tragic bus accident, returning from the falls while Sonia was about 6 months pregnant. The crash resulted in Sonia becoming paralyzed and the loss of their unborn child. As Otto is lost in thought with the rifle, a knock at the door startles him. In the confusion, he accidentally pulls the trigger, but fortunately, the rifle does not discharge. At the door is Malcolm, who has been kicked out by his father due to difficulties in accepting Malcolm's transgender identity. Moved by empathy, Otto allows Malcolm to stay on his couch. The next morning, Malcolm prepares breakfast and helps Otto with his neighborhood errands. During their rounds, they encounter Jimmy, who shares troubling news. Dimerica is pressuring Ruben and Anita to vacate their home. This pressure comes after the company learned about Anita's Parkinson's diagnosis, a secret she had kept confidential. Moreover, Jimmy reveals that Dimerica allegedly arranged with Chris to sell his parents' house. However, Anita discloses that she hasn't had any contact with Chris for years, noting that he has been residing in Japan. Realizing the urgency of the situation, Otto needs to make a call, but doesn't have a phone. He asks Marisol for hers, but she hesitates due to Otto's previous behavior. Otto apologizes, sharing his personal struggles with suicidal thoughts following Sonia's loss. He also explains how he was removed from his position as head of the Homeowners Association after he confronted a board member who was against providing assistance for Sonia, who needed a ramp due to her disability. Marisol, moved by Otto's honesty, allows him to use her phone, and Otto knows exactly who to call. When the Dimerica agent arrives with associates, intending to force Ruben and Anita out of their home, Otto takes decisive action. He calls Sherry and her media team to publicize the company's unlawful activities, which include acquiring medical files without consent and fabricating claims about negotiations with Chris for selling his parents' house. As the agent insists that no one can look after Ruben and Anita due to their health issues, Jimmy intervenes, affirming that they are like family to him and expressing his willingness to care for them. The negative publicity generated by this confrontation compels the agents to withdraw, creating a sense of triumph among the neighbors. However, amidst this victory, Otto collapses due to his heart condition. In the hospital, Marisol, who is listed as Otto's next of kin, is informed by the cardiologist that Otto has an enlarged heart. Marisol perceives a sense of irony in the fact that someone like Otto, known for his kindness and empathy, literally has a heart that is too big. Shortly thereafter, Marisol goes into labor and gives birth to a son, whom she names Marco. At a gathering to celebrate Marco's birth, Otto presents Marisol with a special gift, a crib that he had originally built for the child he and Sonia were expecting but never had. He offers this crib to Marisol and her family for baby Marco. Later on, Otto takes the family to visit Sonia's grave, where they have a touching moment as he introduces Sonia to the newest member of their family. Following his success in helping Ruben and Anita to keep their home, Otto pays a visit to Ruben, bringing joy to his friend's face. As time goes on, a couple of years later, Otto, in a generous gesture, gifts his car to Malcolm. Then, he leaves a letter on his nightstand, purchases a new Chevy, and takes Marisol along with the girls on a trip to the pastry shop. One winter morning, Tommy notices that Otto hasn't shoveled the snow from his walkway, which raises concern. He and Marisol decide to check on Otto, and sadly discover that he has passed away peacefully in his bed, succumbing to his heart condition. In the letter Otto left behind, he reassures Marisol that he did not harm himself, and had a sense of his impending passing. He had made arrangements with his lawyer to leave his home, money, and even the cat to Marisol's family, aiming to support the kids through school and maintain their stability. In a light-hearted note, he jokingly advises Sonia not to let Tommy drive the Chevy, playfully commenting on her driving skills. The family organizes a funeral for Otto, with Jimmy and Malcolm vowing to continue Otto's tradition of looking after the neighborhood. In a touching final scene, Otto is laid to rest beside Sonia, reuniting them once again. Thanks for watching. Like and subscribe for more videos.